Welcome back, you're watching Storyboard. We said it first on Twitter and now we have a confirmation. After 4 years with Dentsu, Rohit Ohri put in his papers at the Japanese agency and will take over as Group Chairman and CEO of FCBUlka with effect from January 2016. Here's FCB's Worldwide Chairman Jonathan Harries on Rohit's mandate.
Please help our viewers understand what Rohit's coming to FCB means.
Well, first of all, we're really excited about it because it means sort of momentum, which we believe we have here already with bringing in Satbir and with the current board as it is. And we just think what Rohit's going to do is accelerate that momentum and take us to a level which we believe the company should be at. So that's sort of, in my mind, the bottom line of Rohit coming in.
Right. So what happens to, what role does a Nagesh play, what role will a Nambi play in this new scheme of things?
So Nagesh moves in January. Everything stays the same as it is until Rohit comes in January. And then Nagesh moves into a vice chairman of FCB Worldwide role, working directly with Carter on special projects. In terms of Ambi and Shashi and Arvind and Nitin, they are there as board members to support and work with Rohit, and I know he values their input and support tremendously, and I think they're all incredibly excited about having someone of his talent and caliber coming in.
Right. When I first saw the press release, you heard about Rohit will report to the board. Now, it seems like, he doesn't seem to be free in the way you worded it. So just sort of unclog that for us.
Well, I think, again, if you look at the culture of this agency going forward, it's always been a cooperative situation. It's a matrix structure, but the board members are all so close and so sort of dependent on each other to do what they do. And I think so Rohit coming in is really going to use that culture and the strength of the board as it is to take the company forward. And I don't think it's a restrictive thing at all. In fact, I think the way I see it and the way I've always seen it and admired about the company here is the support they have gives them tremendous freedom.
Right. But Rohit reports directly to Carter?
Rohit reports directly to Carter, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Now, with Rohit coming on, for you to be able to support Rohit, will we see a lot more of you in India? Because I think initially he will need hand-holding with you as well.
Well, I think if you ask the guys here, I've been sort of not only coming to India a lot, but they're all personal friends of mine, and I hope I've been able to at least be supportive and advise them in certain areas. And at the moment, I'm really working closely with Robbie and Interface and Satbir on the creative side and pushing the creative side. And as you know, we have a brand new Chief Creative Officer coming in, Susan Cradle, who I have to give a plug and say she's going to be the world's first woman Chief Creative Officer on a global company. And so I will be playing a very different role when she starts in January, but absolutely supporting these guys as best I can.
Right. Now, if I had to ask you, what if this is the new FCB with Rohit coming on, how will we know it's different from an outward manifestation?
Well, I think, again, my bias is always going to be on the creative side.
Sure.
See, that's where I come from.
Sure.
So I think you're going to see a really big change in the creative side going forward. I think you're going to see, FCB's always had a reputation of being a really, FCBUlka and even FCB going back, but a very solid, strong client relationship agency, and had never really been known for great creative work. Rohit, I think, is someone who absolutely understands the creative department, understands the creative guys, and I see his support of them being truly important in taking it forward. It's not to say that the other guys have not been supportive, but I think he comes at it from a very different angle to, say, what Nagesh comes at it.
So are we going to see at least shortlists out of India office?
I will I was going to say I'll guarantee it, but you can never guarantee anything it can.
Sure. Unless you're Terry Savage.
Exactly. But, if I look at the work they did for Cannes this year, it was probably some of the best stuff I've ever seen. Certainly the best stuff I've seen coming out of here. And the fact that it didn't shortlist had nothing to do with the quality of the work. And I've spoken to a lot of jurors who saw it. It was more to do, we ended up starting probably a little late. And so we never ended up putting it in the right places and, getting enough PR around it. But it was pretty tremendous work. I mean, I was so excited about it. And our Global Creative Council was so excited about it. And we're starting earlier. I mean, I've met with Robbie and Satvir yesterday to start talking about the initiative, and they're excited. And so we're going to have work earlier, and I'll guarantee it. What the hell?
Wonderful. Look forward to seeing that, and look forward to meeting you again on the next trip to India. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Viacom 18 launched its English general entertainment channel Colors Infinity this Friday. Co-curated by director-producer Karan Johar and actor Alia Bhatt, the channel will air international hits like Orange is the New Black and My Kitchen Rules. Here's Viacom's English entertainment head Farzad Palia on why he expects English entertainment to pick up in the near future. But before that, a quick disclaimer: Colors Infinity is part of Network 18 that also owns and operates CNBC TV 18.
Introducing a new English entertainment channel.
It's a smaller genre compared to Hindi, but it's an extremely, it's a very, very high-growing genre now as we speak. We've seen more than 60% of our consumption actually come from the non-metros, which is a huge change from the way it used to be even 4 years back, where it was largely Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, Calcutta, and maybe Hyderabad and Chennai. So there's a marked shift, and we really want to be in a position where we have a really strong portfolio in the English segment, and we'll keep building on it.
On Notice Board this week, we're putting up the latest TVC from MTR Foods. The ready-to-eat foods company is looking to reposition its breakfast mixes to increase consumption over the weekend. Take a look.
Good morning, Mama. So, is Sunday bhi special breakfast?
Yes! We expect that this campaign will help us reposition our breakfast mixes. Currently, we are positioned as a daily surprise to our consumers, but we believe that the true role for this category will be to reposition it as a breakfast offering for the weekends only.
Just a little bit of musty and a whole lot of mazza. Sunday, oh, to esa.
The creative team came up with this brilliant idea of involving the family on a weekend occasion along with the homemaker in the commercial, and portray it as a much more easy, fun-going kind of process rather than just portraying the homemaker in the kitchen.
This week, the Advertising Agencies Association of India honored SV Sista, better known as Bobby Sista, with the Lifetime Achievement Award. Apart from heading Sistas, Bobby was also a founding member of the Ad Club of Bombay.
It was in 1970 that the managing director who had replaced my father, his 15-year agreement had expired. So there was this vacancy for the post of MD, and of course I had no hesitation. I had a choice between staying on in the Digest or taking over Sisters. Obviously, I had no hesitation in taking on Sisters because there were two reasons for that. One is the fact that I know that it had dropped to number 27 in ranking, and second is that the challenge of rebuilding the agency, the agency that bore my father's name. So these are the two considerations that made me jump at the idea of taking over Sisters. I ran it from 1970 onwards till 1998. That was among the most satisfying periods of my life. There were, of course, a lot of frustrations. There were a lot of worries. I made a lot of mistakes. But on the whole, I think it was a fairly satisfying period. There were many achievements during this period. We got many clients, some dream clients. I launched a product called Tinapal, which was one of the, it was almost like it became a case study. Tinapal is the product, it's an optical whitener, and while I was in Sisters, we got this account, and this account was, actually it was manufactured by a company who was basically in dyestuffs and chemicals. They had no idea of consumer marketing, and it was done through a dealer who was dealing in dyestuffs and chemicals. He again had absolutely no concept of consumer product marketing. So Tinapal to me was a product which it was a dream client for me, because they had left everything completely to me. So I virtually wrote the creative brief. I mapped out the strategy for marketing it and advertising it, and there it was. It was wonderful, and the client left everything to me. After we lost the VIP account, we had Nysil, a prickly heat powder, where they had a series of agencies before we got the account, and some very weird advertising was done for Nysil. And when we got the account, we just came up with one idea, one ad. This was a woman with a bare back, and we put a bramble on her back. And that was one ad, and that was merchandised across all the pieces of communication by the client, and eventually it found its way onto the pack. So that was something which was very, very satisfying. And then we had, as I said, aristocrat luggage. VIP, of course, was one of the most high-profile campaigns, and after we got the VIP account, we were able to not only increase their sales, but we were able to increase the entire molded luggage market from something like it was 3 crores to about 200 crores, during the period when we were handling VIP luggage. For whatever reasons, we lost that account, and we then immediately got the aristocrat luggage account. And when we got the aristocrat luggage account, the client told us, listen, I will judge you and give you the account based on only one thing. The film that you produce for me has to be better than the VIP film. That's all I'm asking. So you can imagine the tension and the panics in the agency, and Anyway, between Jean Durant, who was our creative director, and she was one of the top creative directors during the period when she was in Sisters, without a shadow of a doubt. And she and Prahlad Kakkad got together, and they produced a magnum opus of a film. It was entirely based on their wheeler. That was the first time molded luggage had wheels, and we played on that feature in different situations, all fun situations, and it was entirely shot in a palace in Jaipur. So you took them through the various chambers of the palace, the women's chambers, and suddenly the suitcase running through the women, and this kind of thing. It was great fun.
Congratulations! With that, we've come to the end of today's show. Stay connected though. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and of course YouTube. Until next week, thanks for watching.